students, welcome to MJC Learning. Today we are going to continue our second chapter of chemistry, that is solution. So let's begin. In this video we are going to study following topics. First is vapor pressure of solution of liquid means vapor pressure of liquid solution. Raoult's law, ideal and non-ideal solution. First, vapor pressure of solution of liquid in liquid means vapor pressure of liquid solution. So first let us understand the meaning of vapor pressure. What is vapor pressure? All the liquids have tendency for evaporation. In this diagram, as we see, liquid escapes from this open vessel in the vapors, right? But when the vessel is closed, then also the process of evaporation take place. In both the cases, the evaporation take place. But in closed container, the molecules of liquid escaping from the surface of liquid remain in the container above the surface of the liquid. These molecules are in the random motion and they collides with each other and with the wall of the container and with the surface. This is liquid surface. So because of this collision, they are returned to the liquid state. This is reverse evaporation, also called as condensation. Means molecules of liquid condense into liquid state. After some times, equilibrium will establish between the two phases of the system, which is a liquid phase and the vapor phase. There is a equilibrium established. At this state means at equilibrium, the rate of the evaporation and the rate of the condensation will be equal. That process at the time of equilibrium is called vapor pressure. So let us define vapor pressure. The vapor pressure of a substance is defined as the pressure exerted by the gaseous state of that substance when it is in equilibrium with the solid or liquid phase. Here we are studying liquid solution. So liquids are of two types, volatile liquid. If the intermolecular forces of attraction are weak, because of that they tend to go into vapor phase rapidly. That is called volatile liquid. For example, acetone, hexane, chloroform, etc. Second is non-volatile substance. If the intermolecular forces of attraction are strong, due to which it do not vaporize rapidly, it is called as non-volatile liquid. For example, lubricating soil. Generally, the liquid solvent is volatile. So according to the liquid solution, maybe volatile solvent with volatile solute or volatile solvent with non-volatile solute. There are two types of solution. Let's consider a binary solution of two volatile liquid, which is denoted by liquid A1 and liquid A2. Liquid A1 has some vapor pressure and liquid A2 also have some vapor pressure. But when we mix these two liquid in a closed container, there will be a total vapor pressure which is equal to vapor pressure of liquid A1 and vapor pressure of liquid A2. After some times, there will be an equilibrium established between the vapor pressure and the liquid phase, means the rate of the evaporation will be equals to the rate of the condensation. So now let's consider P1 is the vapor pressure of liquid A1 and P2 will be the vapor pressure of liquid A2 in this solution. Hence total vapor pressure will be P1 plus P2. Now these pressures which are related to the mole fraction of the liquid, means the partial pressure of the component are related to their mole fraction in the solution. This relationship is given by the Raoult's law. So according to Raoult's law, the partial vapor pressure of any volatile component of a solution is equal to the vapor pressure of pure component multiplied by mole fraction of the solution. So when we have to find the partial pressure of P1, means when we find P1, then it is equal to the vapor pressure of pure liquid A1 and its mole fraction. And when we have to find P2 in this solution, then it is equal to the pure vapor pressure of pure solvent and into mole fraction. So when we consider a binary solution of liquid A1 and A2 and equilibrium will be established between them, then there is a Raoult's law take place. So in Raoult's law, A1, A2 is two volatile liquid, X1 is mole fraction of A1 and X2 is mole fraction of A2. P1 naught is the vapor pressure of a pure component A1 when there is a no solution, only pure component. P2 naught is a vapor pressure of a pure component A2. P1 is the partial vapor pressure, means in the solution partial vapor pressure of A1 is P1 and P2 is the partial vapor pressure of A2. So P total is total vapor pressure, means P1 plus P2. So for the component A1 and A2, according to Raoult's law, partial vapor pressure of A1 is in the solution is equal to the vapor pressure of pure component and multiply by mole fraction. So for A1, partial vapor pressure will be equal to the vapor pressure of pure component into mole fraction, and for A2, partial vapor pressure of A2 in the solution is P2, which is equal to pure vapor pressure of A2 into its mole fraction. Let's consider this is 1. So according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, total P is equal to P1 plus P2. So P1 is P1 naught into X1, P2 is P2 naught into X2, right? Let's consider this is point number 2. Since we already know that X1 and X2 is equal to 1 in binary solution, X1 plus X2 is 1. So X1 is equal to 1 and X2 will be here minus X2. When we put X1 value in this above equation, we will get P total P1 naught X1 is equal to 1 minus X2 plus P2 naught X2. Further, we will get P1 naught into 1 is P1 naught, P1 naught into X2 and minus sign plus as it is. So here X2 is common. When we remove X2 common, P21 minus P1 and this plus P1 naught. Further, because P1 naught and P2 naught are constant, means vapor pressure of pure component is always a constant. They have some vapor pressure, right? And if we plot a pressure versus X2 graph, it is a straight line. It is a directly proportional. These are constant. This is constant. So when we plot a graph of P total against X2, it will be a straight line. Now in this graph, this is a pressure and this is on x-axis we will take x or mole fraction. So here x1 is 0 and maximum value of x1 will be 1. So when x1 is 0, the vapor pressure is always 0. When x1 increases, vapor pressure also increases. But when the x1 is equal to 1, the vapor pressure P1 is equal to P1 0. For this, when x1 is equal to 1, P1 is equals to P1 naught, and when x2 is equals to 1, P2 is equals to P2 naught. So similarly, in this graph, when x1 is equal to 1, then this point is P1 is equals to P1 naught, and when here x2 is equals to 1, this point is P2 naught. So this is the vapor pressure of pure component, and this is also vapor pressure of pure component. So this line, when we joined P1 naught and P2 naught, this line gives us a total vapor pressure, which is P1 plus P2. When we consider x1 is equals to 1, then x2 will be 0, because x1 plus x2 will always be equal to 1. So vice versa, right? So x1 is 1. So if y and y1 and y2 are the mole fraction of the component A1 and A2 respectively in vapor phase, then using Dalton's law, the partial pressure will be P1, means partial pressure of A1 is equal to Y1 and P total, and P2 is Y2 P total. Previous we have already seen Raoult's law for two volatile liquid solution. Now Raoult's law for volatile solution and non-volatile solute. Now let us see what happens when we add non-volatile solute to the volatile solvent. For this, observe this diagram. In figure A, the solvent is volatile, right? When we add a non-volatile solute, hence it does not evaporate and does not contribute to the vapor pressure. Means when we add non-volatile solute, means the evaporation of this non-volatile solute will not take place. Only the vapor pressure is because of solvent molecules, and hence it is not contribute in the total vapor pressure. Means this total vapor pressure is equal to the vapor pressure of the solvent, right? So P1 is equal to P1 naught, right? And here vapor pressure of this solute will be 0. For this type of solution, Raoult's law states that the vapor pressure of solvent over the solution is equal to the vapor pressure of pure solvent multiplied by its mole fraction in the solution. Raoult's law for solution of non-volatile solutes, when we take A1 and A2 component, we already know that P1 is equal to P1 naught and X1 naught, means the partial vapor pressure of component A is equal to the vapor pressure of pure component and its mole fraction. For P2 which is equal to 0. Why? Because it is a non-volatile solute, so it will not evaporate and hence it will not contribute in the total vapor pressure. So P2 will be 0. We already know that x1 plus x2 is equals to 1. So x1 is equals to 1 minus x2. So when we put x1 value in this equation, we will get P1 naught in the bracket 1 minus x2. further, we will multiply and we will get this, or we can write this as this P1 is come this side, so P1 naught minus P1, and this minus will be here, P1 0 in x2. So this P1 0 minus P1 means difference in the vapor pressure is given by delta P, which is equal to P1 naught and x2. If we plot a graph of pressure and mole fraction, we get a straight line passing through the origin. This is a graph. It is a vapor pressure of solvent and mole fraction of the solvent. So when the mole fraction of the solvent increases, the vapor pressure also increases. Hence, it is directly proportional. On the basis of Raoult's law, liquid-liquid solution can be classified into ideal and non-ideal solution. First, let us see what is ideal solution. The solution which obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration are known as ideal solution. The ideal solution have two other important property. First, the enthalpy of mixing the pure component to form a solution is always 0, means delta H mix is equal to 0, which means no heat is absorbed or evolved when the components are mixed. Second, the volume of solution will be equal to the sum of the two components. Hence, the volume of mixing is always a 0, which means delta V mix is also a 0. At molecular level, ideal behavior of the solution can be explained by considering two components. First is solvent and solute. In pure component, the intermolecular attractive interaction will be type of solvent-solvent and solute-solute. Whereas in a binary solution, in addition to these two interactions, solvent-solute type of interaction will also be present. So, there are three types of interaction: solvent-solvent, solute-solute and solvent-solute. If the intermolecular attractive forces between the solvent-solvent and solute-solute are nearly equal to those which are between solvent-solute, this leads to the formation of ideal solution. In short, when solvent-solute, solute-solute and solvent-solvent molecules interaction are comparable or nearly same, this form a ideal solution. Hence, the vapor pressure of ideal solution always lies between the vapor pressure of pure component. We already seen in this. Perfectly ideal solutions are uncommon, and solutions such as benzene, toluene behaves nearly as ideal solution. Second type is non-ideal solution. When a solution does not obey Raoult's law over an entire range of concentration, then it is called as non-ideal solution. The vapor pressure of such solution is either higher or lower than the predicted by the Raoult's law. If it is higher, then the solution exhibits positive deviation, and if it is lower, it exhibits negative deviation from Raoult's law. The plot of vapor pressure as a function of mole fraction for such solution is given. First is positive deviation from Raoult's law. The cause for these deviation lies in the nature of interaction at the molecular level. In case of positive deviation from Raoult's law, solvent-solute interaction are weaker than those between solvent-solvent or solute-solute, due to which it is easier from the component to escape from the solution. Then impure state. So in positive deviation, solute solvent intermolecular attraction are weaker than those between the solute and solvent. Hence in solution, when the intermolecular attraction of solute and solvent is low, it will easy for solute or solvent to escape from the solution, which means this will increase the vapor pressure and result in the positive deviation. When intermolecular attraction are weaker, it is easier for the component to escape from the solution, and when it is escape from the solution, vapor pressure will increase. So this is the graph which we have already seen in. This is for ideal gas solution, but when the positive deviation occurs, the vapor pressure is slightly increased, as you see in this graph. The vapor pressure of such solution are higher than those of the pure component. For example, ethanol and acetone, carbon disulfide and acetone. In case of negative deviation from Raoult's law, the intermolecular attractive forces between the solvent and solute are weaker than those of the solvent and solute. Means interaction of solvent and solute molecules are stronger than solute or solvent. So when the solvent and solute interaction will be stronger, then it is hard for the component to escape from the solution and the vapor pressure decreases. So this is the deviation by the strong interaction between solvent and solute, which leads to increase in the vapor pressure, resulting in negative deviation. For example, phenol, aniline, chloroform and acetone. Thank you.